Welcome, everybody, to the Competition Archery Media Podcast, where we explore all things pertaining to competition archery. I'm your host, PJ Reilly, and with me is cam manager Josh Grine. Josh, how's it going today?
It's going well, PJ. How are things with you?
Very good, and I am really excited about today's guest. And with us today from South America, Colombia, we have Sara Lopez. Sara, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
And Sara, tell us where you are in Colombia.
I'm in my home. I live in a small city that's called Pereira, and it's like in the middle of the country, right in the middle of the mountains. So it's really warm here. And I'm really glad that I can be here because we were supposed to be in Mexico when all this craziness started. So I was able to stay here, and I'm glad that I can be with my parents and my brother here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sara, we were just talking a minute ago. Give us a little bit of a sense of what it's like there in South America with the coronavirus, because you were telling us some stuff that's incredible.
Yeah, well, in Colombia, we have like 1,500 cases right now. In my city, we have like 30, but it's really scary because some people are not taking this serious and they're going to the streets and everything. I'm not allowed to see my grandparents. This is actually my fourth week at home, and I really miss seeing them. I'm really scared because they can't leave home. All the schools are canceled, the universities canceled. I can't go to the field to shoot, even if it's like 2 minutes away from home. I can't shoot there. But some people are having a really bad time because Colombia, it's full of people that work every day, and with the money that they gain that day, they go to the supermarket and they eat with that money. So they're right now they're not in the in the mood, or they can't go outside to work. So it's really
Yeah.
scary for some people. I know that the people in Ecuador are having a really bad time right now. A lot of people are dying in the streets, so it's really scary. And I try to stop watching news and just focus on my time at home with my family because it's really scary, and I get a lot of anxiety because of that. So I just try
Right.
to don't look at the news.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That sounds terrible. With your archery, tell us what you are. You said you can't go to normally where you shoot. Obviously, you'd be shooting 50 meters right now. What are you doing for practice?
Well, I have enough space to shoot here, but the problem is that I have neighbors, so I can't shoot because they think I will shoot them. But I'm only allowed to shoot 5 meters. And in the beginning, it was only bell bank, back tension, but then I saw these small targets that they are printing. So I'm
Oh,
using
yes.
those, and it helps. It's not the same, but at least it's not that boring. So I'm having fun with that. I'm swimming a lot with my dog and cooking a lot also. I'm taking this time to relax and to focus on myself.
Those of us who watch you in competition, we always see you shooting a thumb button. How come you're practicing with the back tension now?
I didn't want to do it because I don't like it. It's really scary because when I started archery, I used to hit my face like all the time.
Of
So
course.
I'm taking this time to learn how to use it and try to work on my technique. And then when I'm allowed to go back to the field, I can start shooting the bottom again.
Yeah. How do you usually set your thumb button? Are you super light? Are you super heavy or somewhere in between?
Apparently, I'm super light, but I don't see that in me. Like every time somebody grabs my trigger and they punch it, they tell me like it's super light, and I want it lighter. But
You
it's
want it
not
lighter.
possible. It's not possible because it's in the limit right now.
How are you able to maintain that level of consistency? You're always up at the top. If Sara Lopez shows up, everybody's nervous.
Well, it's really hard, especially because in Colombia we don't have enough money to go to all the World Cups, and being number two with only two World Cups out of four every year, it's really hard. But I'm also trying to learn that that's just a number. And at the beginning, it was really stressful for me because all the media and people in World Archery, they post like, who is going to dethrone Sara Lopez? And I was so nervous for that. But then I realized that everybody wins, everybody loses. it's okay to be number 2, number 10, number whatever. You just have to have fun, and being able to stay in the top, it's hard, but it's also like a joy for me because I don't do this for a number or for money. I do this because I want to see the flag of my country in the podium.
Would you now you shoot 50 meters and you shoot indoor? Is that all you shoot? Do you shoot any field archery, or what's your main game?
Well, I only shoot outdoors. I shoot indoors for Vegas, but I shoot in the outdoors because I don't have anywhere to practice for Vegas. And I really wanted to give it a try this year for indoors, and also next year I wanted to shoot field. But with all this thing happening, everything being postponed, I don't know how that's going to work. But that's the plan. I really want to learn how to do that. Even if I'm not good, I want to learn about
Yeah.
all kind of archery that I can.
So Vegas is the only indoor that you do?
Yes.
No kidding.
And I don't even shoot indoors for Vegas. I shoot in the outdoors.
Yeah,
Yeah. My first and only training indoor is the first day of practice in Vegas. That's the only chance I have to shoot indoors.
Oh man, is there not a place for you to shoot indoors at home?
Not really, because we don't have that in our schedule, so we don't have a place for that.
Wow.
And the light, it's really different. So, like, being able to recreate the light will be really hard.
Yeah.
Right.
And last year, this is 2020, 2019, you came up and won Vegas. What was that like? What was that experience like?
Um, it was a weird experience because I had a surgery in November. So I stopped shooting for 2 months, and then I had to go back to surgery again in February. And I already had everything paid for Vegas. So my coach told me, like, you can't go and shoot, but you can go and watch the competition. And I wasn't allowed to touch my bow. But 1 week before Vegas, I took my bow and I went to the field and I shot some arrows. And he said, okay, just bring your bow to Vegas and try to shoot the first day. And if you feel good and you don't feel any pain, continue and see what happens. And it's crazy because the only year that I didn't care about winning, I won.
You hadn't picked up your bow until a week before Vegas,
Yeah.
and then you went on there and won it.
Yeah. And I was in a lot of pain because, well, I had a breast reduction because I had a lot of pain in my back, and it went wrong. So all the stitches came out, and I had to take a second surgery after 2 months. It was really painful. I had a stitches on me while I was shooting in Vegas.
Is that right?
Wow.
It was really painful. Like, nobody knows this, but I was really nervous to tell that story at the beginning. But now that a year passed, I feel okay with telling this. I was really ashamed with my body and everything, and I took that surgery because of my health, not because the way I looked. And now I'm okay telling this story.
Wow. Well, that explains. I was down there taking photos when you won Vegas, and you just had like this huge emotional release when they finally called your last arrow that
Yeah.
you won it. And we just thought, oh, she's really happy. But now I understand. I mean, there was a lot going on there.
Yeah, and then what you feel in that line, I can't tell you because, well, I have shot World Cups, World Cup finals, World Championships, but that's nothing compared with Vegas. I was so nervous, and in my mind I was calm, but my body was shaking so much, and I don't know why I punched that arrow and I went to the 9. So I said to myself, okay, second place in this condition, that's amazing. Just take it and be proud of that because, well, nobody knows what's your pain right now. You're the
Yeah.
only one. And I didn't take any pain meds because of the dopings. So I spent like 2.5 months without any medication because of the doping controls. So then
Wow.
I shot 2 10s, and then I thought, okay, you got second. That's great. You have to be proud of that. And when I came to the line and I see that she had 2 9s, I couldn't believe it.
Oh man, I had no idea about all that.
Yeah, nobody did.
Yeah, the thing that impresses me is, and I don't know if you can explain where it comes from, but whenever you come up to the line, there's like a huge round of applause whenever they call your name. Are there that many, Colombians in the crowd, or how come you're so popular?
I don't know, and I never realized that until I see the videos later.
Yeah.
I saw, like, yesterday I saw the match against Jesse, and like people were really happy for me, and I was so nervous because it was my first time shooting to the small tent, and I only had like 5 ends of practice before with the small tent. It was the first time in my life, and I was just like in shock because I was able to shoot with him. He's like a legend.
Yeah.
And I just saw the video yesterday. So it was really amazing to see that, to realize that people actually, like, they're happy for me.
When you were out there on the line, what's that like, standing next to Jesse Broadwater shooting arrow for arrow?
It was an honor because he's such a gentleman, and well, he was going to shoot his best. I did also, even that I wasn't like saying anything at all because the light was so different. But like being able to be like, they choose me to shoot with him, and then I saw like in the video they called it the Legends match. So
Yes.
like, okay, I'm a legend now. That's incredible.
So 15, which would be our 16, when kids are asking for cars and things like that, you asked to go shoot a World Cup.
Yes.
That's dedication there. What's the first big win that you think of in your career? Like, this is the one where it was like, all right, now I'm here. I did what I needed to do.
It was Antalya 2013. I got in the team, but somehow they decided not to put me in the team. They put another girl, and I don't know. They went to a trip in Mexico, and it didn't work out really well. So then they told me, like, you want to go to Antalya? We want to see how this works and how you do in a big competition. I say, okay, let's do this. And I had to cancel my semester, everything. I left everything behind, and I went to Antalya. And I was like really impressed because I saw all my heroes there. I met Rio and Albina, and it was amazing for me. I asked them for pictures and autographs and everything, and then the next day I got into the gold medal match. So I was so impressed. Like, this is really hard, but at the same time, like, you can do it. And the next day we went to the gold medal match in teams against USA. And that was the first time that Colombia won a gold medal in the World Cup. We won individual with me and in teams against USA. So in that moment, I said, this is going to be my job.
And
I
before
loved it.
like before that, you weren't even going to go to it.
Yeah.
They kind of brought you in at the last minute, and you end up winning individual gold and then on the team gold, mixed team.
Yes.
Or was it mixed team or women's team?
No, women.
Women's. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
So what that you just said, if you keep shooting, you want to be a doctor, where are you in the way you look at the future? You focused on medicine, focused on archery?
I think I will focus on archery, but I really want to finish school because, well, I already started and I love medicine. I don't think I will be a doctor. I really want to be an archer, but I also want to be something. I just don't want to be an archer.
Right. What kind of medicine are you studying?
You have to study first, like the basic medicine, and when you graduate, you are just a doctor, a regular doctor. It's different from the United States, and then you have to apply to study something else. So the plan at the beginning was pediatrics or oncology, but now that I'm like involved in all this archery stuff, I really want to do something with sports.
Now, in a normal year, when you have your events and you have school, you're in med school and you're top in the world in archery. Yeah. How do you juggle that? Like, what's your study look like? How many arrows are you shooting a day?
Well, med school is really hard because you have to like stay here the whole year to be able to study. From the first semester to the fifth semester, you take classes and you don't go to the hospital. Like, you don't have contact with people. So that part was easy. because I took like 1 semester for school, then 1 semester for archery, and I did that until I finished like the first part. Now I already like have to go to the hospital. I have to like take shift at the hospital and take care of people, and that's really hard. That starts in the sixth semester. I have like I have studied that semester 4 times and I haven't finished yet, so I have to do it again. And the
Gotcha.
plan was to study this next semester and also next year to transition to indoors until I was able to finish med school and then come back to outdoors. But the plan has changed, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Wow. Yeah, because I mean that's not college is difficult anyway, but to be studying to be a doctor, I mean that's a whole other level of study work going on there.